Today we're going to be talking about the new spring break in the year 2021 and how things are changing and have been changing. It is March 25th. My name is Hakeem Brown, and this is Pop City Culture.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother. Welcome to the most listened to international podcast around the world. Hakeem and Reggie Brown are two young African-American boys speaking the truth. This is Pop City Culture.
Hey, what's up, everybody, man? I'm telling you, man, you think spring break would be stopping, man, but obviously it ain't because people are still out there acting like wild animals in heat or something, man. I'm telling you, man. Anyways, we're going to be talking about spring break, the new spring break in like the year 2021, and I'm going to hand the baton over to my brother, Hakeem Brown. All right, here you go, brother.
Thank you there, Reggie. That was a very interesting intro. So,
Well, you're welcome.
we're going to be talking about the new...
Spring break, right? Spring break. Spring break? What's the matter with you? Tired? You yawning?
Yes, Reggie, I'm tired because I was up all night trying to work on this thing while you were playing video games.
Yo, man, I was working just as hard as you,
Someone's
man.
gotta work, you know?
I was working, man. Wait, what you think I do? Just sit there and play
Anyways.
games? Oh, man.
Anyways, yeah, we're going to be talking about the new spring break and exactly what's going on. A lot of people, I don't think, understand, you know, now that we are in a COVID kind of nation thing, how spring break is working. And spring break's a lot different. Before, people could, you know, just hop on a plane or a bus or anywhere, and they could just travel and take a week off. Now, I'm talking about kids in college.
Of course, man, kids in cars. What else we gonna be talking about, huh?
They could just take off and run wild.
We're like wild animals.
I think my dad told me people in high school too. When they go on spring break, some of them travel too.
Yeah, they're the lucky
But-
ones. Probably got some money.
You know, we're talking about the new spring break, and usually when you talk about spring break, we're talking about kids who are in college.
Yeah, that's right. They in college. They ready to flip back and relax and party and do all that fun
You know,
stuff.
a lot of students shared their experiences and
Yeah, a lot of
emailed us and
experiences.
told us what they were
That's
doing.
a lot of emails.
I will tell you this. You know, we did get some responses from college kids, and amid this COVID-19 crisis that's going on now, I mean, everybody knows what this is. This is an epidemic of mass proportion, like a really bad version of the flu, and it's really affected millions of people.
Millions of people, man. This thing is like out of control. We
Yes,
gotta get a
and
handle on it. You know what I'm saying?
Since this COVID thing, everybody has to, you know, we have to do the social distancing.
That's 6 foot apart
and that
stuff.
means we have to stand.
Yep.
We're supposed to stand 6 feet apart from people, whether you are in a grocery store,
I
department
just said
store,
that.
in line somewhere. And this is so that you know, if you're infected, it's so you don't infect somebody else. And it's a good thing, you know. And what else do we do, Reggie?
You gotta wear the mask, man. You gotta wear them. You gotta double up on them sometimes. I talk about doubling up, but you know, people getting the vaccines now. But you know, there's a lot of stuff
Yes,
you
we
gotta
wear the
do.
mask. And, you know, the funny thing is now this doctor guy on TV who's like the leading poster boy for both administrations, Trump and Biden, now he's saying you should double up on the mask even though you get the vaccine.
Man, are you kidding me? You're repeating what I said again? I just told you that.
A lot of people are questioning that. So, yeah, you know, we have to wear the mask and always wash our hands.
Man, that's just common sense. You gotta wash your hands, man. That's just hygiene, man. Who don't wash their hands, you know?
So there's a lot of stuff. Now, this is the thing.
What's the thing? Tell me, what is
People are upset because the younger generation, the kids, not the older generation, but the younger generations don't seem to take this COVID thing very seriously. So it's spring break. All right. And a lot of the kids want to go to Florida. And they have been going to Florida. They've been going on the beaches, and have not been practicing social distancing.
Man, come on. Did you really expect them to? Really, the kids?
They have been partying it up. In fact, we're going to focus on Miami. Miami, they had to do a curfew.
Yeah, they out of
Everything
control.
closes at like 8 o'clock because kids are just going out of control down there. They're just going wild. And I don't know what they're doing because they don't really say what they're doing on TV or on the news, so we can only assume.
Man, you ain't got to assume, man. You know what they're doing. Drinking and partying, man.
What they're doing, but I'm sure there's a lot of drinking.
Yep.
And there's a lot of partying. Mm-hmm. And just kids having a good time. But like I said, they're not really considering the ramifications of what's going on because they're just partying, Now, here's the thing.
What's the thing? Tell me.
They say that when you travel somewhere, you're supposed to quarantine yourself for 2 weeks. Is it about 2 weeks, Reggie?
Man, it ain't about 2 weeks. It is 2 weeks. You're supposed to quarantine yourself, man. You don't want to be getting nobody else sick. I know I don't want to be getting sick, man. Everybody knows people getting sick.
These kids don't seem to be taking that seriously.
And they college students, man?
People are going on airplanes. I don't know if they're going on trains. I don't know if the trains are working, but I definitely know they're going on airplanes.
Trains and buses are shut down.
Because we have a friend who went to spring break. They're a lot older than us. We're too young to go on spring break. But they went on spring break, and they didn't quarantine for 2 weeks. They just went down there, and they went with their friends. And, they got like a hotel. And they were saying how the hotels were... Well, why don't you talk about it, Reggie?
Man, they were saying those hotels were jam-packed like sardines. Man, there were kids everywhere. And as far as this social distancing thing, man, there wasn't no, 2 people in a room. They were saying there was 15 to 20 because they were just saving up on the money. But I don't think our friend was all wild like that.
Including restaurants, including anywhere you go, it's packed. I mean, kids need to understand that when spring break is over, they have to come home. And even when they get on the airplanes, they're going to be around maybe older people, senior citizens, but they're going to be going all through the airport. And if somebody's infected, somebody else could be infected. So this is like a life-threatening thing. But, now that's one version of the spring break. And we're talking about the new spring break. So, we got a lot of emails, and students share their experiences on the new form of spring break.
I gotta hear this, man. I really gotta hear this.
During the wellness days. So, a lot of undergraduates navigate the semester as universities replace the usual spring break week with sporadic days off. So, they'll just have a few days off here and a few days off there. That's what a lot of colleges and universities are doing, if they aren't partaking in this week off kind of a spring break thing. Whereas you got to remember too.
Seems like there's a lot of stuff to remember. Let me get a pen and write it down.
Reggie and I, we're homeschooled. Well, not homeschooled like that, but we have to. We aren't allowed to go to school because everything's online now. So we see our teachers every day. How are you doing in school, Reggie?
Well, I'm going to tell you, I don't particularly like learning off a computer, man. I like that person-to-person kind of contact because I think I learn a lot better, Everybody does.
Well, always know if you need help, you can ask me. We got a lot of friends, and we can ask Dad.
Man, what makes you think you smarter than me? But, yeah, I know if I need some help, I can ask. I don't need you to tell me something like that. I ain't stupid, man. And what you think, huh? You think I'm failing everything? Not everything.
So, back to the spring break. Spring breaks often, as we know, it's often a hallmark of the college experience with students traveling together, visiting friends and family, volunteering and participating places and other social activities. But, in a school year like no other, universities had to make adjustments.
Yeah, man, that's just common sense because, you got to worry about everybody else.
Yeah, so they adjusted their academic calendar and for the spring 2021 because that's now. So universities decided to forego the typical spring break to reduce travel in favor of 4 break days, basically, scattered throughout the semester on February 17th to March 9th, March 29th, and April 15th. Universities announced this back in October. That semester would be starting later than anticipated, and additionally, there would be 4 scattered spring breaks as opposed to 5 consecutive days off, as stated in a return to grounds email update. And that was, back in October. A lot of these students knew ahead of time what was going on, and that's a good thing, so they can plan accordingly.
Well, that's a good thing, man, because everybody needs to know what they're going to be doing for spring break, and maybe they can catch up on family and stuff.
And during this time, it did allow undergraduates, students, and faculty to rest and recharge from their academic work because going to school is a lot of work. A lot of studying, a lot of everything. And that's not just for the students, but that's for everybody. So, Reggie, as I'm going to say, this unconventional approach for an unconventional year has had its mixed responses from a variety of students. While some students are able to utilize the wellness days as a break from school, some students have used these days as a time to catch up on work and complete work ahead.
Man, I know that's a good thing because a lot of students, man, they just seem like they ain't got enough time in the day because some of these teachers, they just be overloading them, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. However, what a student can do on these break days may be limited depending upon their year and living situations. I mean, as first year students are not allowed cars on the grounds, the students living at university housing.
Say what? Say it ain't so, my brother.
They really can't go anywhere. They have nowhere to go because they don't have any transportation. And I don't think the buses are running. Are they? What did you hear about that?
Well, I heard that all depends on where you live. It depends on your location because some places they got buses running for the students and other places they don't. I know in Vermont, University of Vermont, they ain't got no buses up there. But you never know.
I'm going to read one. I'm going to read one of the texts here.
Go on, ain't nobody stopping you. Go
this
on.
Girl,
what's her name?
Liz writes, I think they're extra study days and extra catch up on work days, so I can never see them as a day I can truly rest because I have some of the same amount of work that I have during a normal week. That's what Liz Reese said. She also says, I know people who have a test the day after break day, so how do you not use the break day to study for your test?
Maybe if Liz wasn't emailing us, she could get some work done.
Okay, so yeah, a lot of people, they just have to catch up on stuff. I want to see what this person here says. This person is Matthew. He says, I use it for life-giving culture. For me, I get enthralled in competitive culture at University of Virginia without even noticing, so I use the days to slow down. I'll exercise. I'll go and run with at least some of my housemates. We'll play basketball, taking time to be international with my house. Well, that's good. Some people are just staying on campus, and that's good. Reggie, they're still COVID testing on those universities?
Yeah, from what I understand, universities and colleges, they got to be testing people every week because they want to make sure ain't nobody gonna be infecting somebody else.
So like we said, there's they still have limits at the universities, you're limited to gatherings, people indoors, and at dining halls, the cafeterias, only 4-person limit per table, but people can take the food out and take it back to their room too. That's something I did here. It's slightly easier for those in dorms to fully enjoy a wellness day with no friends the same way students in different living situations may do. So it sounds like a lot of these people are making a positive mark on these days off that they're having.
That's good. Means they ain't goofing off, right?
It says first years live in dorm, and you can't really go to other people's dorms. So you can't go hang out at their dorms, and we don't have cars.
Say what?
Yeah, that's what we were just saying. So if you want to go anywhere, we'd have to use a Uber. So we might as well do homework. You go to school. Do you work and get out? That's what our dad always says. So
what do you mean always said, man? He drilled that into our head, man. It's like I see it when I sleep, you know?
So that's that. But a lot of people who have labs, that's a good way to catch up too.
I'm thinking this is a good thing having them days off,
Hey Reggie, if you were gonna go on spring break, where do you think you'd go?
I go to the beach, man. I'd go to the beach and just lay on that beach, let the sun hit me in the face. I'd go boogie boarding and surfing,
Yeah, that sounds good.
What would you do?
I would actually, if this COVID thing wasn't around, I would definitely want to go to Disney. I've always wanted to check out a lot of things at Disney and see what's there. They always say it changes so many years. And Dad said when he was there, they didn't have that Magic Kingdom thing there. So yeah, I'd like that. So yeah, so when all this is over, maybe Dad will work some overtime, and maybe we can get there. What you think?
Man, don't be getting my hopes up because, man, I'd like to go to Disney too, man. I like to see a whole lot of that stuff, you know? Go ahead,
Here's the thing. Last year, COVID-19 crashed the spring break party, but not before there were mass gatherings in beaches of Florida, Texas, and Mexico. So, that was last year. That was just when this thing was really getting out of control and stuff. Now a year later, spring break showing signs of life again. So, yeah, we were saying how people are going to Florida and everything like that. But, people still they still have to be safe.
Man, they got to be real safe. Use their common sense in their head. You know what I'm saying?
Because, we don't know what's going to happen. Nobody knows what's going to happen. Nobody even knows how long this COVID thing is going to be around.
Ain't that the truth, man? This thing could be around for a million zillion years, man. This thing seems like it ain't ever going to go away. And I'm getting tired of wearing the mask. You know what I'm saying?
But I was hearing something that this spring break, 65 is the new 20.
Come on, man. Are you serious, man? I gotta hear this.
It says while students are sidelined this year, dreaming of a glorious spring break, passed out on the beach, it says their grandparents are living it up.
Oh, man. It sounds like an opportunity of a lifetime, man.
Yep. Not since the Golden Girls went off the air.
Before my time.
Have people over 60 been considered so cool. Yeah. See, last year, while the world was shutting down with COVID-19 version 1.0, college students embroidering the mantra, you only live once, packed pools, beaches, and bars, public shaming soon filled social media, followed by regrets as reports showed partiers to have been responsible for helping to spread the virus. I remember that. You remember that. It was a mess. But this year's spring breakers might be different. Notably, they'll be a lot older and they'll be vaccinated. So, a lot of older people are getting vaccinated. They're into that. That's what they want to do. And many colleges and universities like Boston College and Ohio State University are canceling spring break to deter super spreading events. But spring breakers are like a vacuum, and newly vaccinated senior citizens are expected to fill the gaps. So as we know, Miami is that's like the belly button right now of spring break, and they have the curfews, and police are down there in mad because it's just it seems like it's just out of control. I don't know what's going on down there.
What do you mean you don't know what's going on down there? Kids getting drunk and wild, man.
You know what? It don't look too good, but it seems like they got a handle on it, or they're getting a handle on it.
Yeah, they're gonna get a handle on it, all right. But I'm gonna tell you, you're gonna have a lot of upset kids down there because that curfew stuff they're pulling. You know what I'm saying?
Even though
stop trying to interrupt me.
There's no spring breakers anywhere else.
You're interrupting me again.
They're all focused in Miami.
Whatever.
All the 65 and older people, they're everywhere else, and they're living it up on the beaches, and it's like a second life for them.
I'm cutting you off, man. It is like a second life, and they enjoying it, man. Good for them.
Yeah. So this is what's going on now. Let me see. So I'm reading here. It says many colleges and universities have crimped spring break this year. Yeah. So what happened was they started the semester late in January, and some of the colleges, this is the other thing they were doing, and they canceled the scheduled spring breaks in the week of March, offering a midweek day off, which is what we were talking about. I guess I wonder if this is going to be a popular thing because you always have the flu season.
Man, I don't know if it's going to be a popular thing as far as universities screwing around with everybody's spring break, but they had to do it this year.
Yeah, well, now the thing is we have to rethink what we do all the time now because of the COVID, and maybe this is going to be the new thing. Maybe they'll try to. A lot of universities will try to stop all this spring break shenanigans, where it's chaos. Although I will say Florida will probably, if they keep this up, if they do all the curfews, and businesses can't make money, it's really going to hurt everybody financially in the business district. What do you think, Reggie?
It's going to hurt them a lot because, kids are going to get upset. I mean, I heard a long time ago, cops are coming down heavy on the spring breaker, so they said, forget it, we're going to go somewhere else. They started going to Mexico, so they got to treat people right,
But I will tell you this.
What you going to tell me now? Go on. Tell
over
me.
50, if you're over 50 or 65 or older, man, 65 is the new 20. That's pretty much what they're saying. And it's like a revitalization of life. And if you can see some of the pictures we're looking at, they have social distancing on the beaches, but it's really cool to see, like grandparents sitting on a beach looking out at the ocean together, in love again. It's like a new lease on life. So, that's what we have to talk about today, and we want to talk about how 65 is a new 20 for spring breakers. And Reggie, it's up to you now. What are you going to say?
Yo, you know what I'm going to say. I'm going to say right now, it is time for the words of wisdom from my brother, Hakeem Brown. Take it away, my brother. Take it away.
Spring break for many young people in college has been a rite of passage. It has been something we have done for decades. And unfortunately, because of COVID, it has put a damper on all of those dreams and hopes and partying that the younger generation has been grown to accustomed to. Although it has stopped the young people, because we are in a COVID nation right now, everybody has to worry about if you're going to be sick or what's going to happen to you tomorrow, and if we're going to spread this COVID virus to somebody we love, which we don't want to do. The thing is, 65 is a new 20. And it's great to see the older generation finally taking part in what they once used to do a long time ago. It's great to see the older generation actually living life to the fullest instead of sitting home. When you can see people over 65 with their loved ones or with somebody who they care about on a beach, looking out at the ocean, reminiscing about what life used to be, it's an awesome thing. So yes, spring break might have been canceled for the younger generation, for the college kids, but I will tell you this right now. There's a new life out there, and new life is at 65. And like we're saying, 65 is a new 20. Happy spring break to everybody 65 and older. I hope you have many more.
That was well said. Hakeem, I'm going to tell you, I really enjoyed that. Now we're at the end of our show. I'm going to hand it back over to you so you can take us out.
So I want to thank everybody for coming here live again to Pop City Culture. Thank you for joining us, my brother, Reggie Brown, and me, Hakeem. And I hope you enjoyed our show, and I hope you'll be with us next week when we come to you with a brand new podcast, something new, something different. Until then, be kind and affectionate to everyone. Remember whose you are. Peace.
65 is the new 20. Man, you make it sound like they be getting down like teenagers. What can I say? All right. All right.